Tengo todo, no busco cualquiera, no mal deseo. Tengo todo lo que tengo, no busco cualquiera, es un mal deseo. De noche siento el olor, casi loca por tu amor, no quisiste. De noche siento el olor, casi loca por tu amor, no quisiste mi calor, me dejaste sin razón. Ya no quiero más tu karma, no vuelvo más a esta cama. Si no quieres más mi alma, no vas a ver mi puta cara. Ya no quiero más tu karma, no vuelvo más a esta cama. Si no quieres más mi alma, no vas a ver mi puta cara.
What is up, y'all? It's your girl Melanie Method. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Melanie Method Show. My background pretty much displays what this video is going to be about. I didn't even think I was going to have to make a video like this. And I know to some, a lot of people might jump on me in the comments. They might be mad about things I'm about to say. If you disagree with me, I understand. I appreciate conflict in a way because it tells me maybe where I could have been better at if I really believe your point or not. But like I had to make a video about this. I have insomnia tonight. I could not sleep at all. So I was just watching a whole bunch of different things on YouTube like I'm always doing. Like I watched I don't think that one was AI generated because you gotta watch a lot of these videos now because they're AI generated. And that doesn't really matter all the time. It really matters about the quality of the video, like what information are you going to get out of the video? Is the information will be accurate? Does it look really cheesy? Is it free of errors? So that's why I don't really do anything. I want to do voiceovers and documentaries and stuff like that, but I'm cheap and I'm not trying to pay for the software, and you kind of got to do that. So, and so I can do all of that. But yeah, I watched, this was actually from 48 Hours. I watched a documentary on Casey Kasem. And I never really paid attention to Casey Kasem, I guess, because I'm not from LA. So I really didn't go crazy about his broadcasting and things. But I learned that he was a philanthropist. See, there's just some words I can't say. So he gave back to the community a lot of different charity work. But y'all, like this is so I gotta touch on everything I want to say on this one. Like I do. But yeah, back to Casey Kasem though for 1 second, then I'll get on R. Kelly. Back to Casey Kasem. I had no idea though what was going on with his death. I feel really bad for his children. Because I believe them. I don't believe the ex-wife, the widow. I really just thought I believe she contributed to his final death because she kept moving him around to different healthcare facilities that was treating him for he had Lewy body dementia. And I mentioned that actual disorder on his channel many a times because it's a serious disorder. And it really takes over your body uncontrollably, just like it did with Robin Williams. It creates dementia, different behavior. It makes you go into shaking because it's tied into Parkinson's. It's a lot to that disorder, but it changes the person. But what I'm trying to say is with this is that the man needed constant treatment, and the wife kept tossing him around when all the kids were trying to do is make sure that he was getting the best treatment possible. And that was the Casey Kasem story, just what happened to him in his death. It was horrific. I feel the wife was to blame and not the kids. I can include the link in the description for that so you guys can see what I'm talking about if you guys are interested in learning more about Casey Kasem, because I knew his face. I knew of him, but I never really knew anything about his life, like his legacy, how he came about. You know what I mean? How much he contributed back to the community. I didn't know any of that. So I figured in my spare time, I was like, let me watch this because it said the mysterious death of him. So moving forward to R. Kelly, which is by far one of, to be honest with you guys, and I don't care how anyone takes it, he's by far one of my favorite R&B artists as far as male. Because the reason for that is because his voice, no one will ever have R. Kelly's voice. I don't care what anyone says. He did some really horrific things, and a lot of it was all of the things that I believe that he did contributed to his past, his upbringing. Sort of like Diddy. It's pretty much like a Diddy situation here. I'm not trying to defend R. Kelly in any way. So God, please, you guys don't take it as that. And anything in this video, I'm not trying to defend him for his actions because everything that dude was doing was disgusting and disgraceful. I mean, my mother and I knew he was into stuff like this. I mean, he showed it with the Aaliyah thing. He showed it. But that's also the media's fault and law enforcement's fault because when he married Aaliyah, why wasn't anything done to him then? And why didn't her family do anything about it more? I understand he had a lot of money. He was powerful. Okay, woo. He still ain't have enough money. I mean, more money than Diddy. But I'm just saying, like, it just seemed like something could have been more done back then to stop him and force him to like maybe get some kind of mental health treatment, even though when you're traumatized like the way I believe him and Diddy was, they're beyond repair. They really are. It's a really sad life though, because it's sad to see talented people. Diddy, oh God, I don't even want to call him talented. Like, because jumping around in ugly ass suits and stealing people's money, because that's basically what he did. He was trying to take control of all these different type of artists, Diddy, and all that. R. Kelly kind of touched on that a little bit too, but I never heard of different artists saying that R. Kelly didn't pay them or R. Kelly was trying to take everything off of them. So in a lot of ways, I feel Diddy was worse. All right, that's arguably, that's my opinion. There's going to be people that feel like that I shouldn't even be comparing the two. They're both all horrible, and that is true. It is both of them is horrible situations, all surrounding and revolving around childhood trauma. Because that's what it is. And there's never no excuse, though, to harm a child or anyone underage or a woman or anyone, period. But in a lot of R. Kelly's cases, as far as a lot of them that was older, that was in their 30s, why would you go around him when he clearly he married a young girl like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm can you help me? Like, why would you marry him? This is another thing too that I'm gonna get on about his ex-wife because I don't like his ex-wife at all. This whole thing is really about her. That's who it's about. And I'm surprised I didn't make a video sooner about On Drea Kelly. She calls herself Drea. I don't like her at all. I don't like it because she seems like a phony. And I'm not going to say that she's a liar because I don't believe that she's really lying on a lot of his actions. I just believe that she's trying to capitalize. She's trying to capitalize off of her trauma. And that's kudos to her. If that's the way she want to handle it, fine. But it just looks so cheesy and so fake. She's very fake. Very, very fake. I guess it would take somebody like that, though, to put on a fake face. You know what I mean? And let somebody beat your ass and let somebody do things to your family members or to your kids or whatever, you know? So I don't know. I just don't like this chick. I don't like her. Like ever since she came on the scene with the whole surviving R. Kelly thing, I just never liked her. All the other victims, I had no problems with them. It's just something about his wife that just does not sit right with me, his ex-wife. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know. I hope some kind of way I'm wrong. And maybe that's just the way she handles herself. But she just seems really fake. Okay, so I'm gonna get on a lot of different things. I try to make sense of where I'm going with this. Okay. So she married him right after he was forced to get that annulment from Aaliyah. Because if we go back here, I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to go back to, let me pull some things up first because I'm not prepared. This documentary that her and her kids did, they shouldn't have did it. Like, it really, it just made them look real pathetic. And it seemed like that they more so did it just to stay in the face and the spotlight of the media. That's what I'm feeling. I don't feel that they're not victims. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I believe they are. I believe everything they're saying that happened on his behalf is true. I didn't get to the part where I think the daughter's going to say that R. Kelly was touching her. That I do want to see because I want to see how straight this child's face is. The reason why I say this is because why does it seem like that? I understand everyone handles trauma and trauma, darkness, abuse in different lights. But you mean to tell me you waited a couple years after that original documentary, so now all of a sudden daddy was touching you now. So I don't know. I got to see how the girl looks when she's saying it. But the mother, that bitch, she's a phony. I'm going to show you why, too. Why I think this. I just don't do this lady. I don't know what it is about her. And then her dad was so weird about this chick is that she really looked like she could be related to R. Kelly. She looks like she could really, I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they are because I don't believe they are. But what I do believe is I believe he has such a weirdness to him that I believe he picked her because she looks like she's related to him. That's what I believe. Because it's so weird to where the kids don't even look like him, but they have like little abstracts of him, but they look solely like her. It's real creepy. And those kids are creepy. All right, so I'm sorry. I just speak my mind. I speak my mind. I really do. I don't care how it comes out. I don't care if people like me for it. I don't care if people get mad at me. I speak my mind. I do. All right, so we're gonna go to Miss Drea or Drea, whatever the hell her name is. She don't make good decisions either. I'm gonna get on that in a minute too. God, I thought I was bad with decisions. Yeah, all right. Anyway, all right. Okay. So here she is. She's 50. She's only a couple years younger than him. So she married him in 96. Now, if you remember, y'all, that Leah thing was happening around 94 to 96, I believe. He might have still been toying around with Aaliyah right before this. I think they said that. So you were of age, ma'am. Okay, you were of age. What made you I understand he was powerful. I get it. And back then people took things differently and everything, but Aaliyah was a whole child. And then she was his choreographer. So didn't she like hear stories and everything about how he married Aaliyah and he was supposed to be sleeping with Aaliyah? And it was a couple other girls, young girls and stuff that they came out about. It was all in a hush show. It wasn't real explosively big in the media, but enough for her to have been able to probably found out, being that she was the choreographer and she was on the back end and everything. Okay, so but what would possess you to marry a dude that just got an annulment from a child? Think about that though. Think about that. So that already shows just how stupid she is and like irrational and how she doesn't make solid decisions. Just look at this bitch. Look at her. Hold on, guys. Hey man, get her here. Look at her face. Look at her. Would you trust her with your life? Because she looks stupid and very fake. I cannot stand this chick. Like, I don't. Like, okay, another thing I don't like about her either is I noticed during the Surviving R. Kelly series, she kept like trying to act like she was this divine queen and we were supposed to look up to her because she was the wife that survived him and all of that. Me in my mind, I'm like, bitch, you stayed with him for all those fucking years. So why would we even look up to you? We would, if anything, the strong women like me would be like, bitch, why did you put your kid through that and your kids through that and yourself through that when he was letting you go shopping? At some point, you went out. Okay, you went out. You made the decision years later to get your dad to rescue. So why couldn't you get your dad to rescue you sooner? Because you have to have strength. When you choose to become a mother, right? You have to have enough strength to pull yourself and your kids away from a bad situation. I've been in my ex-husband tried to kill me. Okay, my ex-husband hit me, beat me several different, well, not several. Let me not get now because it's nothing like this shit. When I got with my ex-husband, I was young. I was only like, what? Was I 18 when I met this dude? I think I was still 17. Now I was 17. So he waited till I got pregnant by him and then he hit me. And it diminished me emotionally really bad. It really did. It never really made me like look at him in the same way, but I still tried to like let it go because I was young. And he kept mistreating me behind my back after a while, well, especially once I got pregnant. And it was just because he was 19. He was a little boy. I was 17, 18-ish. and he came up to an abusive family, which I didn't know all of that. He didn't tell me every loose. He kept gradually telling me all the things that happened in his childhood. So he tried to put me through that shit, but guess what I did? Guess what I did? So that was the first time. And we women, I mean, we go back to abusive situations. We do. I'm not trying to say I ain't never do nothing stupid like that, but like not to where she was dealing with. This bitch was supposed to have been getting locked up. She wasn't allowed out the room. She couldn't look at people. She was being told she had to pee and poop in buckets. He was hitting her. He was having sex with other women in the house. I wish that someone would have did one of those fucking things to me. I just name. I would have busted through the window to get the fuck out of that motherfucker. Some kind of way I would have got out. And I'm pretty sure she had opportunities to get. I understand that trauma can leave you kind of brainwashed or feeling like that you need a person. There ain't that much needing a person in the world. It's either at some point, bitch, it's either you or me. Is it this me and my daughter? It's so funny all this is coming up and they made this documentary, her and her daughter trying to stay in the spotlight, because that's what that documentary's for. It is. And I'm gonna put some of it on in a minute so you guys can see it with me. But like, why these bitches in particular, they always holler, I'm the victim, but you steady on the red carpet with your arm under his arm, smiling. Like, that's some two-faced actress shit. I don't want to hear, oh, well, that's just the way I handle my trauma. And he had me so scared of him. I was scared. Bitch, there ain't that much fear in the world to get you to smile in public for the camera. And when you go home, you're being raped or beat up. Or being, in Diddy's case, like the whole bit, my daughter just went over this about that girl, Cassie, that was with Diddy all them years. Okay. Call her a victim or not. Me and my daughter calls her an accessory. She's a fucking accessory. That girl should go to jail right with Diddy. And the reason why is because you mean to tell me, okay, this man he was bringing sex workers in from different countries and shit to fuck you. Okay, could have gave you all types of STDs. You might have STDs. How the fuck we know? Okay, he did all these things to you, beat you in a hotel on a camera, all these beat you on several occasions, drugged you, all this shit. You mean to tell me, okay, that you went on all these red carpet excursions? She was seen with him in various pictures, smiling like everything was lovely. And that's one thing I will say about Kaya, the chick that made my neck, my back, my pussy, and my crack. I feel her. Because she made a statement. She said Cassie just wanted to remain wealthy. And she's right. Because something has to keep you in that environment. There has to be something, some kind of way you can gain some sort of strength and leave sooner. Okay? So I don't feel empathy for people like that. For whatever reason, I don't. Like, I feel like that you like the abuse at that point. You became so traumatized by it and so accustomed to it that you start accepting it. And then in this woman's case, I really don't respect her, because whatever happened to her kids, it was her fault. Then in the documentary I'm about to play, it really kind of angered me and it woke me up completely, even though I couldn't sleep anyway. When the daughter started crying and she said, I feel so guilty because I couldn't beat her for my brother the way I needed to be because I was upset and blah, 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 blah. Bitch, how are you upset and feeling bad about not being there for your brother? You as a child, you need to be mad at this lady. This lady, because this is the lady who kept you in that environment from now, whenever you was born, because she stayed one from 1996 to 2009 when she finally got a divorce. They took a long ass time. That's a long time to let somebody, that's 13 years to let somebody just keep abusing you. The fuck out of here. That's like a portion of your life. That's a chunk of your life you can't get back. And she just smiling and shit and being all fake. I'm like, bitch, look, like, you just making yourself look more mentally ill. And then in this documentary, I noticed again, why does she be fake crying, this woman? This On Drea Kelly. Now, the daughter, you can really tell it's like she is genuinely hurt in a lot of ways. You can see it. But this bitch here, this bitch is fake as hell. Like, she is really, really fake. I don't know. I think it's because, like I said, she's trying to capitalize off of her abuse. And if that's the way she wants to handle it, that's fine. I mean, get your money, girl. Do what you got to do. but like it just looked so fake. And I hate fake things. I really do. So then, okay, this just even furthers my thing with her that makes fucks with my head about this bitch. Okay. So then she stayed with R. Kelly for 13 years. And she said she was abused, all this, but there was other people that said she was abused. Okay, cool. Well, not cool, but you know. Okay, so then it says here in 2014, she marries a 36-year-old barber and an R&B singer. Now, why would you marry another R&B singer after it? Did you not learn anything about singers? That's number one. Okay. And that marriage only lasts for 2 months because he was having an affair. But you couldn't see all that before you decided to marry him. The woman doesn't make rational decisions at all. She's a bubblehead. A bubblehead. I'll be very surprised to see if any of all her kids survive and don't try to kill themselves. I'll be really surprised. And it all lies on her, plus R. Kelly's dark ass problems from him being a child and being abused. But something's wrong with this bitch. In some ways, I think this bitch is crazier than him. I really do, because it's like you did all of this to yourself and to your kids. At some point, you were allowed to leave the house. You were leaving. He was letting the other people leave. He was giving them money. They were going to the mall and all of that, because I kept trying to figure out why they were staying. I understand, again, I understand about being brainwashed, but there ain't that much brainwash in the world. There's not that much brainwashing in the world. And in some of the other girls' cases, I understand they were younger. What is this bitch's excuse? What is her excuse? A lot of other girls, they were really young, and you know what I mean? They probably felt trapped. They were all emotionally fucked. Okay, I can understand that. But this, no. There is nothing in this world that will allow me to be in a house with somebody that locks me in a room, beats me. Lord knows what he does to my kids when I'm not looking or I'm not around. He has sex with other women in the house. He's doing all these things. Okay, to me, he don't feed me because he was starving her too. Okay, so all of this happened. You mean tell me there's nothing you could have done for yourself at all in 13 years? And when you're in pictures with him, you're like, a motherfucker beating me and doing all of that. Just like with me and my ex-husband. He would have his moments where he would go to his bullshit mentally, and I would see it coming. And I knew we was going to have some problems. So he would either hit me, threaten to hit me, something like that. It would hurt me so bad because I was just like, damn, he's, you know what I mean? I was like, this dude really is stupid and sick because I'm going to fucking leave him. He just thinks I'm playing with him. It's for real. Like, I'm either going to leave him or I'm going to kill him in self-defense. That's what I was always fear. And that's why I knew when I was pregnant with my second daughter, he tried to choke me to death and beat me in my face and all this shit. And he never did no shit like that to me, really, like that. He never hit me in my face like that. But I knew, I was like, I got to either hurt this dude in this hotel room or I got to get out of here some kind of way, because I can't really, you know what I mean? I was scared if I hurt him, what if they would have blamed me? And I believe that would have happened. Because Arizona, they ass backwards. That's where we were. But what I'm saying is I did not stay around for this. I knew, guys, I'm 42. I'll be 43 in August, okay? My ex-husband, I have a tendency to sometimes saying husband because I did marry him twice. That's a long story. Because I married him the second time because it was like when we were adults, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt and tried over again with him. But I knew that he probably was worse from being locked up in prison. And I was right. And that's when he tried to kill me. So that was my bad. I knew I knew something bad was going to happen. I did. But I got away from him so quick. It was like the next day. And I never was back around him in that sort of capacity again. I've seen him. I've been around him, but in the presence of other people. I would never be alone with him again, ever. He asked me last year to have a drink with him. I said, oh, no, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm no. Oh, no, fuck you. You're not getting me alone again. This shit's making me hot. Just talking about all of this. Damn, man, these braids. Dude, this shit woke me up. Because I'm tired of women in particular claiming to be victims like this. But it's like you're kind of aiding this, especially in Cassie's situation too, though. Because how was you seeing him do all of this to these different people? You didn't do nothing. You didn't snitch. You didn't call them fans. You didn't do nothing. Wow. I don't know. I really don't know. Because at least in this girl's case, at least she could say that R. Kelly wasn't having people having sex with her. Because he wasn't doing that. At least he wasn't having dudes come back and just rape on her and shit. No, he was not doing that. He just had her locked up. He didn't want nobody to touch her ass. But either one is bad. But I'm just saying, like, you mean to tell me it took you that long, not caring that what if your kids want to stop living because they're seeing what you're going through. I could see if they would have never had kids together. Then I could have been like, okay, well, she just fucked up her life. That was what she wanted to do. But don't fuck your kid's life up too. And place all that trauma and that guilt onto that. So I don't know what this chick's problem is. I don't trust her. I don't believe her as far as like, I believe the things he did to her. I do because I could foresee some shit like that. But shit, I was not there. I believe the other things people are saying too that he did to her. I believe all of that. It's just the way she's handling it. That's what I don't like. I don't. And then she keeps like wanting people to look up to her like she's a face for domestic violence. No, you're fucking not. If anything, bitch, I'm a face of domestic violence because I twaddled on out fast. I'm the one who should be talking to people that's being victimized. And the reason being is I can probably provide them with more strength. Where is this bitch's strength? She stayed with him for 13 years and let him do all of this to her. So I don't like her. I don't like people like that. I don't. I really just don't. I mean, I'm proud that she eventually got in a situation. That's great. But ma'am, you took way too long and you destroyed her daughter's all fucked up. And her other daughter that I guess is trans. And that boy, oh my God. The fucking documentary is a fucking train wreck. Let me just say that to you guys. It's a fucking train wreck. It's weird as fuck. And the only people I feel sorry for is those kids. I really do. Because they didn't ask to be brought in this world. They didn't ask to be caught in between two people that's emotionally fucked up. That don't even know what the hell they doing. And shouldn't even have been no parents. Yeah, they didn't. So his kids, I don't even want to talk about them really negatively at all. It's this bitch. She's the problem for me. All right. So I just don't like her. I don't. I first saw this bitch. I did not like her. I don't. I just don't. It's something about this chick that's not right. I don't know what the hell it is. She's creepy as hell to me. I don't. There, she does not cry. She does not cry. Every now and then it'll be like a little waterworks. But in this new documentary with the daughter, you can tell she's fake crying. It ain't even real tears. So I'm like, this bitch is really weird. Very, very weird. I've learned. Okay, so this is how far I got. So I got 38 minutes. The daughter's pregnant with R. Kelly's grandchild, R. Kelly's grandson. So good luck with that. And God, y'all, I don't even know where to begin. It's that fucked up. All right, let me go back. Like, I don't even know where to go back to for real. Try to think where I want to go back. I just don't like these people. Something about this woman ain't right. I don't know what it is. All right, so let me start it up. I'm gonna see what parts are interesting for y'all to see.
A boy. I'm very excited. I've always wanted a boy first. So it's because like a dream come true to have a boy. You gonna be pulling up in minivans. My heroes right now in my life, I would probably I have a couple. One of them definitely being my mom. At this point, I wouldn't feel comfortable with nobody else going with me anyway. And one of them being myself. Because I feel like I pulled myself out of a very, very dark spot multiple times in my life when I felt like I wasn't going to. So myself, my mother, my brother and sister, those are definitely my heroes. I'll be excited and nervous though, but the anticipation of like them putting it on there and trying to find it first, I know, it takes my nerves so bad because I'll be like, y'all taking a little too long to find my baby heart. Like, find it, Jesus. Find it, Jesus.
That ain't even funny.
They're horrible or something like that. They just
I just don't like that woman. I don't.
Yeah. I'm Buku Bye.
All these weird ass names, calling herself Buku. Where did I even come from? They're weird as fuck, man. They're like Will Smith's kids and shit. Yeah, they're like, they should be friends with them type shit. Like, they weird as fuck. And it's all because of that mammy. I think she's crazier than R. Kelly on the low. She stood there and dealt with it. Think about that, though. Think about that. Our hero, she's a victim. She was a bit of. Hold on, because I gotta make sure my microphone is working, y'all. I'm just like, wow. This shit's crazy as hell. It's showing that it's working.
Hey, Joanne Kelly. I am the daughter of On Drea Kelly and R. Kelly. Just here trying to make things happen, not just for me, but
Why is my camera not working? It just keeps, so I think it's that cord. And that cord must have like a short or something. I always get cords that have shorts. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold up.
for my child.
Damn sweet. All right. Buku Doc, Studio 4.
There's nothing else in this world that I was meant to do except be a mother.
Hopefully they mean documentary for short. I certainly hope. But go ahead.
And be an artist. That's it.
Then I would like to know too from her and her weird ass brother, right? Why do they feel they're artists just because their dad was one? Like, they will never be R. Kelly. Let's make that clear. Okay? Let's make that clear. They will never be R. Kelly. R. Kelly had the ability to hold people hostage for years and not try to escape at all. So he was powerful there. He also, his voice, let me be on a serious tip though. They will never be him. It's not going to happen. They remind me of Whitney Houston's daughter. Let her rest in peace. What was her name again? Bobby Christina. That girl, I felt so bad for her. I was wanting to say, girl, you're never going to be your grandmother or your mom. Just let it go. Your dad wasn't even really that talented. I'm not trying to be mean, but I can see her wanting to be a celebrity though, because both of her parents were singers. I can see Bobby Christina wanting to do it. I get it. But like, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Shit. That's just simply it. R. Kelly was able to move people with his voice. That's what I'm getting at. He was. And even if you didn't really necessarily like him as a person, at some point you liked his music. You did, majority of people. Because I can say that. I didn't really like him as a kid. I thought he was creepy to me. I did. As a human being, I didn't really like the way he looked. However, his music always took me to a place like of holidays, like going over families' houses, you know what I mean? Chilling. And you could always count on hearing R. Kelly on the radio, his instrumentals, things like that. You know what I mean? His kids will never be able to do that. That's over. As a matter of fact, I can solidly say I don't believe there's nobody ever going to sound like that again. He has an amazing voice stuff. He really did. A lot of people would disagree with me. I don't really care. His voice was amazing. It really was. He was just a sick ass person because of everything that happened to him as a kid. But she just keeps talking about she's an artist. Where are you an artist? Where's the music at? Where's the performances? Where's the tours? Like her and her mother is like they're in some kind of weird ass world that only them and the liberals are in, because we know they liberal. Come on now, they gotta be like with them bubble ass heads and the way they keep smiling and being fake and shit. They're liberals. They're liberals. All right, I'm shutting up. Now I just have to say all that, but stop saying you artist. Please, bitch. Please stop doing that. You can't sing either. You don't sound the worst. She don't sound the worst. She don't. Neither did Bobby Christina. But they're never going to be what their parents was. Period. All right.
I'm not here for nothing else. I'm not here to prove myself to people. I'm not here to make other people happy. I'm not here to be this ideal version.
This is horrific.
Whatever people
what they did with R. Kelly. I'm a positive for my daughter came in. This is horrific.
Okay. Okay, it's their fault.
Yeah, that's so little troll.
Yeah, that's right. All right, what's up?
That's tell you, I don't like his ex-wife. I hate her. God forgive me. I don't mean hate. I hate her for her demeanor, her personality. So she let this girl with her, who I know that she orchestrated this whole thing, do another documentary on R. Kelly. And this one is so cheesy and so fake. And then she got this girl really believing she can be a singer. This girl's never going to be what her dad was, ever. Okay, the kids are weird as fuck. They're just as weird as the Smith kids.
Right.
I don't know what this was about.
Like, R. Kelly wasn't even a great artist. So.
I mean, yes, he was. Yes, he was. He sold out so much. He had so many sold records.
Oh, wait, we're not talking about Diddy. We're talking about
R. Kelly.
Right. No, they're not going to sing that.
No.
He has amazing voice.
Yeah, listen to this girl. Listen.
I hate him, but he's incredible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My daughter don't even like him, and she can say he
I'm
sounds
so sorry. I think about Diddy anytime I think of a problem.
Yeah, that is really true. It is. Anyway.
And be a mother.
Little bitch got pregnant. Now you got a grandkid on the way. And she's not the problem. It's that mother. This bitch here. It's this bitch right here. Here's what she's doing, Diamond. She's capitalizing off of her abuse from him. And she wants to be in the media like, I'm this domestic violence survivor. She's an accessory. She's an accessory. She's an accessory. She's one of them like that girl. Like with Diddy.
Yeah.
She stayed with him for 13 years. And they claim she was locked in a room, was being beat down, being starved. All this. Then she finally got courage after 13 years to leave him.
I just don't believe that.
Yeah, that doesn't even sound right.
Out and meeting with the other women?
No, he was bringing them back and having sex with them there. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is,
so what? Did he go in the other room? Just what? Hit
yeah,
her, like,
yeah, he was just beating her and shit. She
that's
wasn't
what
allowed out.
Though.
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe that only because other people that was at the house said it happened. I believe her stories about what happened to her. That's not the problem. The problem is, why would you expose your kids to that?
True.
Why did you figure out a way to get out of it sooner?
You told me a clan of living a coven, if you will.
Yeah.
Can't figure anything out. Then they were leaving. They were leaving, right?
Yeah, she even let other people escape her.
So,
before her. Yeah. He was sending all them girls up to them with money.
Yeah, then where's the victimhood?
Yeah, that's after a while, that's not a victim. People need to really differentiate victimization to accessory. Mm-hmm. For real, because the way she was kind of accessory too, I know she knew a lot of them things he was doing to people at that house.
Yeah.
So that's just my point. I don't do her. Then she be pretending she be crying. The bitch don't even be crying and shit. Nah, man.
On myself, she was like looking around at everybody else, like, oh, Pisces.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're just like you. Because she's Aquarius and the daughter's a Pisces. Two weirdos that belong together. And she looks the most like R. Kelly. That's the other two. I don't know what to say. And in some kind of way, they look like they're all related. Because she looks like she could have been R. Kelly's sister or something. Look at that. Look at that. You can clearly tell. Yeah, but you're not related. He just picked somebody that looks like her. Yeah.
The Olympic Fields police said it best to me one day. He said, that big old gate around your house is not to keep everybody.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
That
I saw the mic when I was talking. That's if they can hear me.
It made it all clear to me. We had no contact with our friends' family. He decided who was going to be friends, who was going to be family.
You know what it.
We were just in this world that was so dark that mansion just felt like a prison all the time.
I received a phone call from my daughter, and she asked me would I help her, that she wanted to get away from her marriage.
I thought it was just
talk to my dad, like, this is our meeting place, this is the day I'm meeting, this is what time I'm
So
meeting.
she called the dad.
When I received the call.
Okay, so she scheduled a time for the dad to pick her up and run away from R. Kelly. Okay? So it took you how many years to do that, though? How many? The daughter tried to kill herself on several occasions. You let all that happen.
Not important.
I don't like this chick. I just don't. And the father, like, he's fake too. If he does it, look at this bitch. That's the stepmother. I'm done, man. I'm done.
And we make the arrangement.
It was like,
They're not. They're never going to be R. Kelly ever. Nobody's going to ever be R. Kelly. He's another one I don't think nobody's going to be ever. He had an amazing voice.
I do remember the night that we left like it was yesterday. And I just remember my mom like coming in my room and like basically like shaking me awake. She gets me and my brother and sister all together. And we're getting in the car. And I just remember her being like,
I'm over here now.
Now it's looking at me.
And I remember trying to get the car to start, and I felt like the goofy white girl in the movie because I kept
Look at this.
I couldn't get the car to start.
Look how fake that is.
Because I'm like,
I just feel like the goofy girl in the I just feel like the goofy white girl in the movie. Why you have to even say that like that? Why is it like she's always acting?
Yeah.
If she should have been an actress, this ugly bitch. She probably wouldn't even made it because nobody wanted to cast her ugly ass. Because she's ugly as hell too. I can't stand that wife.
Look.
I can't. What? Why she got an attitude?
I know.
She already makes fun of everyone's sleep. She hates that.
So anyway, we're riding in the car, and then I just remember pulling up to a Walgreens, and then there was another car beside us, 2 women and a man, you know.
How many years later did this happen?
I've never seen them in person before. I was a perfect
never
stranger
seen
to them.
before.
And so I could tell that it was traumatic to them.
And my mom's like, oh yeah, these are your grandparents. What the fuck?
And I think Joanne feared Boku, as we call her. She too understood that this was not normal routine.
And Jay is in the back seat sucking her thumb. And she looked at me, she said, Mama, who is that man? I was like, that's your grandfather, that's my dad. And she stopped sucking her thumb and she said to my dad, she was like, what's up, Daddy-O? And put her thumb back in her mouth and went to sleep.
I don't like this bitch.
I was so confused because that was my first time meeting my grandparents, was when my mom left my dad.
We traveled approximately 50 miles to where I lived, where I lived in suburban Chicago.
And I tell people, like, yeah, I didn't meet my grandparents till I was 6. It's like they're mind fucked. Like, how does that even happen?
And I remember my dad saying, don't worry, you're safe now.
You're so fake. You are. I do not like this shit at all.
Once I left, I knew I wasn't going back. But unfortunately, the way our court systems are set up, even with having a restraining order protection, which was granted by the judge, I was told that he has the right to see his.
No, I do. I sympathize for her on this, y'all. I do. I sympathize for her being a victim, period. Because she was a victim. However, what the fuck were you doing? Like, what the fuck? Why? Why would you wait that long? With all victims, I never get that. Because I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I've been hit by men before. And guess what? They either got hit back, I fought back, or I got the fuck out fast. Fast. So that's why I guess I can't understand from a victim that gets away quicker. I'm not going to let you take time away from me to hurt me when I'm being good to you. Just like she was good to him, she was a good woman to him. Everybody was saying she was trying to help him learn how to read and all of that. So I understand she probably really loved him. I get all that. I loved my ex-husband at one time. I really did. I loved him enough to get back with him to try to have another kid, and we did. You know what I mean? Ain't that much love in the motherfucking world though. There's a thin ass line between love and hate. And if you make me hate you, boy, I'm gonna hate you. I might not hate you as a person, but I'm gonna hate your personality, which is associated to you. And I'm going to release myself and unburden myself of what has been for what could be. Thanks, Kamala. I love that's the only thing she did right during that whole campaign was that dumb, retarded ass fucking mess of phrase that she gets. Because now I use it just to be sarcastic. But yeah, I'd unburden myself of this. First of all, I would never got with this nigga. Because as soon as I would have heard about that lid thing and I'd have been listening to the hype, I'd have been his little dancer a little bit and seen how much money I could have got. I got the fuck away from him. If I wanted to mess with him, I would have did it and I'd have got away. Some kind of way I would have got away because I know how to psychologically play with a dude's mind also to make him think like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm real. This is cool, baby. Yeah, nice dance, Eddie. And no, he'll never see me again. As soon as he do some creepy shit that I can't tolerate, this nigga would have been out. And I might have reported this nigga to the feds. She tripping. She could have saved lives. Get out of here. That's not a victim. That's an accessory. Shit. You gotta be stronger than that. You can't just put up with somebody's bullshit like that, let them beat you up and hurt you.
Children. But there still will be visitation.
But what I was saying is that I feel for her about the visitation thing. That's what I was meant to say. I got off track. Because that is fucked up. When you've been abused by somebody and then the fucking court system and all of that. But oh, well, he still got the right to see his kids. Okay, but why? Why? Because what I feel like when the mother's being abused, that should cut it off. Because there's some men out there that are really mentally ill, okay? And they feel like if they can abuse the mother or if they can't have the mother, they'll hurt the child. Because my ex-husband tried that move too. He would indirectly like say that he would hurt my daughter. He would. He said it a couple times. And I took that shit seriously. They're not going to threaten me and no shit like that. I'm for real. Like, I feel courts really do need to change that. Because I feel like if it's a domestic violence situation against either the mother or the father, because there's women hurt men too, and they try to get a visitation of the child, it should have to be supervised at best. Because you don't know what they're going through mentally. They can take it out on the kid. They can. And I'm right. I'm right about that. Because you got to protect the children. And it's not protecting them, letting them go around somebody that was abusing your mother. That's not cool. So I feel for her on all the abuse. I'm just not with her on why she stayed and how she keeps trying to make these documentaries and capitalize off of the abuse. Because it's also making her look weird. And it's making her seem like that she's happy to be a victim. Because now she can write books about it. Now she can do these documentaries. And it's looking fake as hell to me. I could be wrong, but and if I am, I'm sorry. But it looks bad to me anyway.
Escaping my abuser and have a judge tell me every weekend that same house you escaped, you now have to send your children back.
He looked like him when he was younger. If that's a boy, that's a girl.
First part of her life as a little girl, she was a daddy's girl. Like she cared less. I go do that. Her son rise and set on her dad. Daddy's girl, hands down in the beginning.
I looked at him like my superhero. Like that was my everything. I would go on tour with him. I was at the studio sessions. I didn't want to leave his side. That was my ride or die. Like honestly, that was my best friend. I wanted to be with him everywhere that he went. So when everything kind of started crumbling, it was very devastating for me. Especially because I'm the oldest out of 3 siblings. So I was the one that kind of can remember more. And I got the good parts of him. So it was a little more devastating for me because I had to look at 2 different versions of this one person. My mom did a really, really, really good job at giving us a good life, despite what was actually going on.
That's wrong.
And so transitioning
that's wrong.
Was difficult.
Because that's like putting on a facade and putting on an act instead of really just getting your children out of this situation. I don't respect why it hurt the mother. As the more and more I keep hearing, the more and more I just don't respect her. And I don't respect Cassie. I really don't like Cassie at all. At all. Even more than this Drea girl. Because you mean to tell me you was letting Diddy have all them sex workers fucking you, right? Drugging you, doing all these things to you. You just kept going out with them, smiling and all these pictures and shit. She was doing it too, though, just Drea bitch. It's just entirely not as much as that Cassie girl. How are you smiling and shooting the breeze with somebody and on the red carpet? This motherfucker whooping your ass that same night. Shit. It wouldn't be me. Because when my ex-husband used to, I got off topic again, because earlier in the conversation I meant to add that when my ex-husband used to try to put his hands on me, I ain't smiling none of our fucking pictures after that. First of all, I probably was already on my way out. But if we did take a picture, like it would be a couple days or so, or I stayed with him a little bit longer, I was hurt inside. There was no like being all warm to him and all of that. And he still wasn't doing nowhere near to me with them two went through. So I don't know. He was verbally abusing me, threatening me, and then he would hit me too at times. But I can count how many times he hit me in the whole lifetime of me knowing him. And I've been knowing him since the year 2000. Because I've been knowing him for like what? My daughter's supposed to be 24, so 25 years. And out of those years, the longest I stayed with him was broken down 2 years total. 2 years. I stayed with him 6 months. Maybe a little bit longer. I stayed with him 6 months when I got pregnant with my first daughter. And he hit me. And I left him. Then we would hook up every now and then to have sex and stuff like years later. And I wouldn't even give him the time of the day. Like I wasn't letting him be around me long, none of that. I would have other people I was involved with. So then I think, when did I actually try to get back with him? Did I ever get back with him? Yeah, I did. For the end of 2002. Yeah, I didn't even stay with him long that time either. I got back with him in 2002, the end of 2002, like Christmas time, to like the time we got married, which was April of 2023. I mean, 22. What am I talking about? 2002, and then we got married in April of 2020. 2003. I don't know why I can't get that out. 2003. So you count the months: January, February, March, April. 4 months. So you had that 4 onto the 6. So now you got 10 months. And these were all broken down, mind you. He tried to fight me again in those 4 months. And he tried to hurt me really bad after we got married. I said, okay, all right, buddy. I got rid of his fucking ass. Yeah, I got rid of his ass. I took my daughter was already with my mom, probably. So my daughter wasn't seeing none of this shit too, by the way. My daughter can't even remember a time when he put his hands on me when she was a kid. I never let her be around no shit like that. She never seen him hit me as an adult either. I never let my daughter see that shit. There was little old me from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, okay, that had nothing. And this bitch, she was in the house with money and everything, cards and credit cards and shit. You mean I had nothing and I got away from this motherfucker and then disposed my kids. So how the hell can she have done it? That's all I'm saying, her and Cassie. But yeah, okay, so now we got 10 months because now I really do want to add it up. So then I left him in 2003 and I kept telling him I was going to divorce him. I moved to Arizona in 2004. I divorced him in 2005. That's when it was finalized the first time. And we messed around after that, I think like twice. And he didn't believe me. I kept telling him I was divorcing or we were divorced. He did not believe me for the longest time. His sister didn't believe me. Nobody wanted to accept we was divorced, but we were. So he begged me several times to get back when I just kept not doing it. I kept getting with all types of people in Arizona during my life. Ain't none of them dudes in Arizona hit me. None of them. No, I had people like talk shit, say they was going to hit me because of my mouth, my attitude, because I was trying to tell them the truth. People don't like the truth. They will try to hit you over the truth. So, but nobody ever put their hands on me except my ex in Pittsburgh, of course, because he's a bitch. And my ex-husband. I don't know what it is about the Pennsylvania man. But anyway, I had my ex in Arizona. He used to fight me too. He did. He just never tried to hurt me. He never like beat me. We would get in a little like wrestling matches when we would get mad at each other. It was dumb. I threw salami or a ham at him, or no, it was a sausage. I don't know what my mother got. My daughter always got to make my mother scream at her. It's so stressful because I hate when my mom screams. But anyway, I just don't get these women. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. They be wanting us to look at them like they're heroes. How the fuck are you a hero when you let this shit trickle down to your kids and you stayed with the dude so long to where you're barely recovering yourself? So I don't know. All right, let's get back to it. I'm sorry, y'all. I keep taking breaks. It's just so disgusting to me.
Because I felt like my reality was just kind of swiped away from me. And it was like, this is what I think is going on. And this is what actually is going on. So it was hard.
So much of their life as children was on a tour bus. So they lived in this bubble. Then when you get to school, you are exposed to this world that I don't think she was prepared for.
Being isolated as children, that was more of my dad's decision.
I'm telling you,
I
Bird, did you
don't
fart?
know if it was because he didn't want us exposed to like the Hollywood life, or if it was guilt and he knew what we would have to deal with if people knew who we were. It was hard because I didn't have an understanding of who my dad was to the public. So people were very mean. Like for a long time, people didn't even know that he was married. People didn't even know he had kids. I remember getting kicked out of schools because of who my dad was. It took my mom a very long time to find a school that would even take us. They basically kicked us out because they were like, we don't want to risk your dad coming and picking them up from school.
Listen to that.
And being around the other kids and all these other things. So it was really hard.
Okay. Again, this falls back on Miss Drea Kelly. Okay. Again, why would you subject your kids to that? You know what I mean? Why would you do that? Like, I mean, I understand, like, even if she would have separated with him, there was a chance that the school still could have been saying they didn't want them going there because of his reputation. But you stayed with him during the reputation. You said, shit, you married him right after he got an annulment from a 15-year-old girl. I don't do this, lady. And she got this girl in so much pain. And them kids are in so much pain. That was for no reason. All because she wanted to be stupid. And she want people to look up to her. Bitch, please. Who would look up to you? You're weak. You're stupid. You let yourself stay with a dude all them years while he locked your room, did all that to you. After you married him, after he got an annulment from a kid. Wow. That's fucked up decision. She makes me feel good, actually. Because I always say how I make messed up choices with the guys I choose. Oh no, this bitch surpassed me and many others. Woo.
The kids at school were ruthless.
Look at this bitch smiling and shit. What is there to smile about when you're being abused? That's a really good question. That's a really good question. What the fuck is there to smile about and you're being abused? How do you hug your kids and smile with them? Knowing that all those smiling's going to go away soon because their crazy ass father going to bring another hoe over to have sex with them in your living room while you're starving in your bedroom. Like, I'm just trying to figure out the rationality of certain people's minds. Like, how do you do that? How do you be a normal mother, smile, put on a bright face, but you might get your teeth knocked out the next moment? Nah, man, I can't do both. I could never do no shit like that. Maybe because I'm just too real of a person. Because it takes a real fake person to be able to do that. You have to be very fake to be able to, like, put on two personas like that. And 1 minute, like, you're a mom and you're, oh my God, yeah, baby, yeah. And next minute, boom, oh, daddy, please. Like, how do you do both? Like, how? You can't. Unless you're weird. The fuck? He's starving you, but you in the pictures with your kids the next minute just smiling like everything good. All right, my love. Like, all right.
And that's probably a part of why we are all so close, as far as like my mom and my brother and sister and I, because that's all I know.
What the fuck am I missing here?
Pretty much everybody knows how much my baby means.
What's she name now? Umi. Weird motherfuckers. Weird. And it's sad because she don't look like R. Kelly either. It's like it's all because she looks like she could be R. Kelly's sister, that white. Because the daughter, the eldest, you can tell that's his daughter and everything, but it's really just the nose. And sometimes when she smiles a little bit and like around the eyes, because really she looks just like that Drea. It's real confusing and complicated. It really is. Let's get on to I guess the trans son or something. I don't know. I think this was once his daughter. Yeah, but now she's supposed to be trans or some shit like that. Boy, this is some liberal shit. It is. This is liberal shit at its best.
I've just been counting down the days since he comes out. And then I already knew it was a boy before they got the ultrasound and stuff. Like, I'm just really excited. Over the moon. So happy. Ready to see her as that mother that she's always wanted to be. I know she's going to be amazing.
How do I feel about Buku? I can't like feel about it. I gotta just think about it because if it leaves my brain in his
He think he's gonna be a celebrity like his dad.
I'm excited.
He think he's the next R. Kelly, but in his own way.
Everything in between and beyond.
Yeah, he gonna be better than R. Kelly.
I finally feel like there's a rebirth of the Kelly name. It doesn't always have to be doom and gloom. I can finally look at like, this little Kelly coming into the world and being like, dude, like, you the new us. Like, it's dope.
That was weird. Okay, I'm gonna say why. I hate to keep taking breaks. Okay. Let me tell you something about what it is to be a victim in my book. Everybody handles victimization and damage and trauma differently. But you put your fucking hands on me and you hurt me. I ain't thinking about you when I have my grandkid. Like, I ain't thinking about, she talking about it's another one of us. Bitch, you're not a Kelly, though. You're not a Kelly. That's him. So what you're trying to say is you want to extend onto his DNA, his family. That's basically what you're saying. And on top of that, why'd you keep his last name? Why you keep his last name, though? That's real, though. Because the way he was abusing her, she shouldn't want nothing from him. Nothing. Wow. All right. Everybody different. Let me shut up.
Judy, she actually started working for us as a nanny.
I have a close, amazing relationship with them. I grew to be part of the family. They're like my own kids. I was there for them through all these years.
Judy, she was the one babysitter that got us in shape, and she was part of the reason that we kind of settled down and really got grounded as people. So she became family.
Judy is like my second mom. Like, really, I feel like Judy and my mom were my parents.
We were pretty bad kids. We were good, but we were bad. And so we gave her a hard time, but she stuck around. And I don't know if that's because, like, looking back, I feel like that's because she knew, what was going on and the type of environment that we were actually in.
It was one of my toughest jobs as a nanny. My job is to be there for the kids and only the kids. I just pray to God that I had no involvement with Dad's situation. And there's so much that I cannot say and share just to protect the kids.
Mr. Kelly was not a father. My daughter never once hesitated about allowing access to the children. And they wanted to see their dad. Understandable. There were times when he would say, I'm sending a car to be there in a half an hour. They never showed up at all. Kids were standing there waiting, had their clothes packed. If we had to pick up the pieces, we had to try to explain to young children how the actions of an adult were not their fault. You know what? They used to think it was their fault.
Loved her father.
She worshipped the ground that he walked up. She used to cry.
Okay. Okay, microphone. It's not even join. No. I was still recording the whole time. Okay, what about now? It's still not saying like I know my audio is going, but it's not showing me like this microphone isn't showing up.
I plugged it in. It's on. You see it?
That's fucking weird. I don't know. No, that's the headphone. It doesn't show up no matter what. Hello, 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 hello. All right, y'all. Hopefully y'all can hear me now. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with my audio and my video. It's really pissing me off. Let me get back to that video.
What do you feel about him saying your mother brainwashed her, but not like him?
When it comes to him feeling as if my mom has brainwashed us, I feel like it is bullshit. He knows exactly why we can't have the relationship that we would have liked to have with him. Not only that, I don't understand how you could put your hands on my mother and then expect me to be able to have the same relationship with you. My mom went through a lot. She went through a lot of mental and emotional and spiritual turmoil. I thought I was never gonna get my mom back. So for you to say like, oh, she's brainwashing them, it's like, no, you know exactly what you did. And I just don't see how that in his mind wouldn't affect us. I had to watch my mom heal from that. It wasn't just I had to watch her go through it, but I had to also watch her heal. And that was hard. Like there was, and I tell my mom this all the time, there was days that I thought I lost both parents. I already don't have you. And you fucked up my mom so bad that I feel like I don't have either. There was days my mom wouldn't come out of her room. I had to take care of my brother and sister. I had to feed them. I had to get everybody up. I had to grow up because of how fucked up and how messed up of a place my mom was in. So it was scary because it's like nobody else had to see that. Nobody else was living in the houses with us. Like I had to see my mom not get out of the bed for days in a row. I had to see my mom break down and try to take her own life. Like I had to witness all of that. Nobody else did. So for you to turn around and be like, no, it was brainwashing and da da da, like, no, you know exactly what it was. So
That's sad. That right there is awful. I blame that woman. Of course, I blame R. Kelly, but R. Kelly didn't. R. Kelly didn't tell that woman to stay with him for all them years and then finally try to plan to escape. R. Kelly, something in you should have snapped and told yourself, look, this has to happen now. For the sake of my kids, I got to figure out a way out of here now. You don't wait like that. She put this girl through so much trauma. She abused this girl so bad, little did she know, by allowing him to keep abusing her. We get what we allow. We get what we allow. I understand about being brainwashed. I understand about being in a relationship and you feel so defeated. You can't get out. You feel like you can't get out. I've been there before. I felt like that before. But I still made myself get up out of that situation because I didn't want my kids to hate me. Because my daughter was beginning to hate me. The longer I stayed with people that she knew I shouldn't have been with, it makes your kids resent you. And they will start not liking you because then they just wonder, like, why are you not strong enough for me? And that's real. That's real. I knew my daughter was right the whole time. But at least I wasn't staying with this dude for years and years. None of that. It never even went into 1 year at all. I think this last time, did I stay with him for a whole year? Hold on, 2050. Yeah, I did. I finally stayed with him for a year. And that's because he wasn't putting me through nothing like this. Nothing like this. We were actually getting along for the most part throughout the majority of the year I stayed with him. When I got with him the last time, my ex-husband, we only had 2 issues. And them 2 issues, that was enough for me. I couldn't do it. And it was spread out, the 2 issues we had. So, there's nothing that should allow you to be a victim like that to somebody and then further damage your kids because of it. That's my point. That's my point. People need to really see, like, stop having empathy for these women, some of them. There's if you can get out of a situation 13 and 14 years later, I mean, you could have got on year 1, year 2, year 3. The kids would have had less damage on them, the less they would have been around, the less they would have saw, the less pain she would have had to endure because her pain trickled onto them. You heard the girl say that she had to watch her mother go through all that. That's not cool. So why would somebody be idolizing her as a victim survivor? She has no strength. She's weak. She damaged her kids because R. Kelly damaged her. And she allowed it to go on to that. That's my point.
I don't know. That shit was it was ridiculous, but I feel like it was really unfair. And it's unfair to continue to say that because we all know it's not true.
He manipulated them. And these are small children. Even as adults, that's difficult to deal with. But for them, it was crushing. And Joanne was the oldest. Buku, she has a nurturing nature. She basically took care of the little ones, right? They looked up to her. And so that was the added pressure. I'm an oldest child, so I know what that's like. And I think that trying to be strong for her siblings, trying to be strong for her mom, and then you have to deal with these monstrous things that literally unspeakable. And they push you that far. And that's what I'm saying about everybody has a breaking point. Everybody's got a breaking point. And for a young child to be put in that position by somebody who knew that they could do that, unspeakable.
I know that she's stronger than anything that she's ever had to deal with. And that, I mean, her being alive today is proof
I
of that.
disagree.
I mean, it's scary, but I believe in her more than I'm afraid of the things that are bad in life.
I just got to a point where I didn't care anymore. I didn't care if I lived or if I died, or I didn't care about what happened to me. I just remember one day, my mom and I, we went to Target. And I had to use the bathroom. So we went to the bathroom and she came out and I was washing my hands and she saw that like my wrists were all cut up and she just immediately dropped everything. And she was asking me, what's going on? Like, are you okay? She was really worried. And in that moment, I broke down and I had to tell her, like, I don't think I'm okay. I don't think that I can do this. I don't think that I'm gonna make it through to live out the rest of my life.
I feel like my older sisters definitely got the short end of the stick, and I've seen the tribulations that they had to go through, and that was definitely scary. You know, waking up and not knowing, you know, is my sister gonna be alive, or like, you know, just the anxiety of someone's in the bathroom too long. I definitely, when I was younger, I had a lot of insomnia.
As a big sister, I have a lot of guilt for that part of my life. Because I know it was really hard for my brother. Because my sister and I, we struggled a lot mentally. And I know that there's a lot of time when my brother doesn't know if we're gonna be okay or if we're gonna take our own lives and leave him. So I hold a lot of guilt.
Now that my sisters are older and stronger, like, it's definitely kind of subsided. But I still have my moments when they go through something hard. It's always triggering because, you know, you never know what could be someone's last straw. And I've seen them both get very close to their last straws, including my mom. So kind of made me man up really early and kind of become what I feel like is the rock sometimes. We're all each other's rock, if I'm being real, because I know I've had my moments.
My brother and my sister, they're my heart. And to think in any type of way that I made their life more difficult is a really hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. There were days that I didn't know if I was gonna make it, and that affected him. It affected him really bad.
My girls are really strong. They're outwardly strong because they have to be. My son, Robert Jr., I worry about the most because he internalized so much being the little man in the house that 1 week, if I wasn't taking Joe to the hospital, the next week is jaw cutting. And I can't imagine what that feels like to go to bed every night and not wonder which one of your siblings is going to be dead, or who you're going to find dead, or who couldn't take it anymore, or if it's going to be your mom. I worry about him because sometimes I think one day that branch is going to snap. And I know it's difficult having Robert Sr.'s name, so that's a pressure in and of itself. That it's a thing that I don't know if I will ever sleep at night, because that keeps me up at night wondering what he's thinking, wondering what his sisters are going through. through that's going to affect him that he's not talking about, that one day I might wake up and find that he's the one not alive.
I hate this bitch. I really hate her. I do.
So yeah, it's hard being my son, but he does a damn good job at it.
And she always tries to act like she's presenting some kind of powerful speech or something. Bitch, won't we talk about how you were the one who destroyed your kids' lives? Let's talk about that. She skipped over all of that. Why can I've been strong enough? You hear, she don't feel guilty. The daughter says she feels guilty for not being able to support the brother more because her and the sister was struggling the most psychologically. And that girl shouldn't feel any guilt. None of those 3 kids should feel any guilt. They had nothing to do with that. They didn't ask to be brought here. They didn't ask to have a weak-ass mother that exposed them to that shit for several years. And she crying, talking about she wondered when her son going to kill himself. Basically, this bitch is twisted. She's missing the point. She's missing the point. You chose to have them around this. She, at any given time, too, if she could have even tried to convince R. Kelly to let them go stay somewhere else. If she could even say it, I feel like it would be best because of our lifestyle. Things that are anything. She could have did anything just to not further damage her kids. Her kids are damaged beyond repair. Trauma like that, you don't get over. It always stays with you. You might heal yourself, but not 100%. It's always going to come back to you. Something's going to make you relive it at some sort of time. It's just making me mad how she keeps acting like she's so tough now. Why wasn't you tough those years ago? I hate shit like that. Like, I get real mad about shit like that. I really did.
All this pain comes from one place as a mother. Like, whatever happened with me and their dad, and I'm very clear, just because you're not a good husband doesn't mean you can't be a good father. And the fact that he didn't even try.
Again, she's wrong.
What he did to me, he did to me. But you didn't have to do it to my damn kids.
Here's the thing. I'm about to end this because I'm going to get real mad. Okay, I'm going to get really mad. I'm trying not to. First of all, he didn't do it to your kid. He did it to your kids, yeah, because he chose to treat you wrong and mistreat you, okay? But then you made a decision for 13 years to deal with that. She's not getting to where her actions, which she did. Because it was something anytime she was able to call her dad after all those years and finally escape. Ma'am, couldn't you see your kids were suffering? I don't like her at all. Like, I really don't like this woman at all. This shit cheesy as hell, too. This shit is cheesy. They can't even make a good documentary. This is horrible. All they did was paste the pictures.
That I did with my dad, I was about 16 or 17. And I was very hesitant because our relationship has been rocky since I left and I didn't go back to the house. He wrote the whole song. So he wrote my verse. He wrote his verse, the chorus, all of that. Judy was at the studio with us.
Another thing, too, I don't get when they say, you can do whatever you want to me, but you don't have to do it to your kids. Common sense would tell you, but man can't respect you as his wife and as a woman to where he would hit you and abuse you. How do you think he's going to treat his own daughters? Because obviously he don't know how to treat women. Doy. Just like my ex-husband, he don't know how to treat any woman. So why in that fuck, right? Well, I let the court system force me into letting him be around my daughters. What can he teach my daughter? Well, all he's been doing all his life is abusing women in different ways. And how would it make me look as a mother to expose them to that? There ain't that much having a father in the world. Sometimes you just got to not have a father. You did. Because if a person's willing to beat up on the mother, they don't love the kid. They don't love the kid at all. That's what I told my husband that day on, what was it, June 9th, 2017, when he cracked me in my face. I looked him in his face. I said, you don't love Diamond. He just cracked me in my face. Because I told him that, I said, it's because you don't treat me right. You don't respect me. And my daughter loves me. So if you don't respect me, you don't care about my daughter because you don't care how it affects her, how her feelings are. So all of that still wants somebody to be a father after you done been at the butcher block and at the beating block of them. No, miss me with that. You lost your father rights when you put your hands on me. You lost your father rights because that's basically saying that you don't respect women. You don't respect how would he teach my daughters how to choose the right man? Or in my daughter's case, the right woman, or whatever like that. What would he teach them? Then after he would choke me in the hotel room, he went on to do it to someone else. And he put a knife to another girl's neck. Okay, he's been doing it all his life because he saw his dad beating up on his mother. Okay, but then he wasn't beating on my kids. He wasn't. I hate when women do that. They be like, oh, I see, that's fine. He can be around now. Like, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if he abused you, though, what is that not to say that he ain't going to abuse your kids? And why would you put them in a position where they could be abused by or murdered? Because I didn't see many cases where the father or the mother was given visitation and they killed the kid or kidnapped them. That needs to be changed within our justice system is horrible. It's horrible. Once there's a domestic violence situation between the parents, that's it. It should be visitation is restricted to I can't even get the word out. You know what I'm trying to say, y'all. Observe visitation. They should never be able to be in the custody of them parents or around the parents alone. So it should be restricted visitation because domestic violence leads to murder. It leads to rape. It leads to beating. And if they don't respect the mother, what do you think they could do to the kid? And that's not always the case, but why take that chance? Damn, that should be irking me. I'm sorry, y'all. That should be making me mad. It really does.
Yeah, we recorded the song. I've always had a very more bitter reaction to the song, especially because he wrote my verse. It was like a slap in the face. It was like, you know exactly how I feel. Yet you continue to be the same father. You continue to be the same man. But you can write a song about how it's affecting me, how it's affecting my brother, how it's affecting my sister, how it has affected my life. Yet, what? Like, there's no change. So there's comprehension, but there's no action to be a different version of yourself. And so it was hard recording it because at one point, honestly, when I read the verse, I wanted to get up and walk out because I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, so you know exactly how I feel.
I'm still watching our future of R. Kelly.
It was hard.
Because that's what they're
like, oh, it's such a beautiful song. Like, I love that song. It got me through it. And it made me and my dad closer. And it made me and my dad spread further apart. Because I was like, so you know exactly how I feel. Yet, you're the same exact person. So it's hard. I'm
not trying to defend R. Kelly, but she gotta understand her father had an extreme sickness. And it began the moment his sister started raping him as a child. And somebody in his neighborhood was raping him. So his dad had a sickness that was never properly treated. And I'm not trying to defend R. Kelly's behavior at all. But the way she's saying it is like it doesn't even occur to her like what's wrong with him. Your father has a problem. Your mother got one that might be a little bit greater because she felt like that was okay for y'all to endure that. So okay.
Run away from music because I've seen the darkness that it brought into my family. I've seen all that shit. But
why is this girl keep trying to sing?
I can't escape what God sent me here to do, and that's music. So no matter what I do,
God sent her to make music. We have never heard that version of myself.
I end up being. Never. Music is always going to.
They're using this man and his legacy They're using his legacy and his abuse to see if that's going to get them somewhere. That's basically what they're doing. And it's embarrassing. It's making them look like idiots and rejects.
For me, it saved my life. Like if it wasn't for music, for what? You know what I'm saying? Like I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for music. If I didn't learn how to take my pain and turn it into something beautiful through song, through writing, through producing.
The girl can sing.
My father's a phony. That's why Drea is
14 years old, and I'd never heard her sing before. So first time I heard her sing, I was like, wow, the genetics are there. She is gifted. And, you know, am I proud as a grandfather? Would I tell you she could sing anyway? Yes, but there are other people that will tell you the same thing. She is an absolutely gifted singer, but not only a gifted singer, she's a great performer too. She's got stage presence.
My first time.
I'm sorry. All she looks like is a smaller version of her mother. All I seen just now was her mother on that stage being real phony. And she does have a bad voice, but she damn sure will never be R. Kelly status. Stop. Please stop. So it's sad what she's doing. So she's really abusive, this woman, if you think about it. Because not only did she put them through that shit, make them go through that, now she got them making documentaries and talking about it for her own personal gain. Because that's what I believe. That's what this looks like to me.
Recording the song was with my brother and sister, and we did it on a computer with headphones. Like that was our first studio. Our studios have been in closets, in extra rooms that we found in apartments that we lived in. Like everything we have now, we have worked our asses off for it. Let me get it,
What the fuck is that?
I see the sold out shows. Me, my brother and sister, we sit and talk about it all the time. There's no way that it's not going to happen. And I will die trying. I was about 19 years old, and a friend of my mom's who worked closely with Phony had reached out, and they were like, hey, I have an idea. I want to bring the kids up to Phony. I think they would be a perfect fit because he knew we did music.
That was too high.
We went down to Vegas. We drove down from California, and we met a producer named Adonis. He worked with Sony, and they were looking to sign us. We showed him music. He had his little studio set up in his house. He really liked it. He gave us really, really good feedback on it. Like, we was like, oh, yeah, we about to get signed. Like, this is inevitable, basically.
We met up. We played him our music, and he was like, oh, yeah, this will be perfect. Like, they're going to love them. This is the second generation of Kellys. Like, we can rewrite the script. Just really pumping it up.
He is lying to y'all motherfuckers.
For anybody that doesn't know, music for my brother and sister and I is everything. It's the air we breathe. It's the blood that runs through our veins. It's so it meant a lot that we finally felt like, oh, somebody's looking at us aside from all the bullshit. Like they wanna help. Like they want to see us succeed. So it meant a lot.
So we went to the studio. My sister recorded her song first with a beat that I produced. I recorded my song with a beat that I produced, and then my brother recorded a song with a beat that Adonis produced. And they loved every single song. Like they was just hype in the studio. Like they was going crazy.
I remember we got to our last meeting, but it was one of the higher ups for Sony. And we were all sitting down. They had me sing live. They had my brother, rap a little bit, and then they played some of my sister's beats. And they were like, this is great. You guys are super talented, blah, 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 just giving the whole nine. And then they basically said that the only reason we cannot go through with this deal is because we, as a company, do not want to get wrapped up with what your father has going on. So, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to proceed.
It was basically a problem to sign us because of the allegations with my dad. And when they said that, it kind of made sense that why they didn't sign us. And I felt like more so it was because of association.
Which was like a slap in the face. Because in my opinion, I was like, well, y'all should have never did all of this in the first place. If that's like, you knew who I was when you reached out.
That's true.
So I just felt like we got dragged along just to get dropped. Music is our everything. So that was horrifying for me and my brother and sister. Like, we all damn near wanted to quit music at that point. We were like, fuck it. Because it's every time we get this close to the finish line, somebody's just gonna be like, well, because of your dad, we can't, like, then why am I doing this? This is stupid.
Yeah, Sony sucks. I do want to say it was emotionally difficult because of the excitement of being like, oh, this is it. You're 16, you got all these guys in suits standing around you telling you, oh, you're going to be a star. It's like, it's all you want. I'm really tripping now because of him, but it was definitely difficult becoming so close to what you've been chasing the whole time and being rejected for something that you have no control over. It was devastating, honestly.
So I don't think anybody grows up in life wanting to be forced to be under the same identity as somebody else. I feel like that's human nature, to want to be your own person.
Everywhere we go, everything we do, it's always going to have some type of like double meaning under it, or someone's going to read between lines that aren't there. And it's just like, makes it difficult to just be a person.
I feel like it's not fair that we're not given our own chance to show people who we are, rather than them just basing who we are off of our father.
You get people talking about, oh, you got some big shoes to fill. I'd be like, fuck them shoes. Some hoes beat. That's not me. People want me to carry on the torch. I'm like, I'm not trying to spread that fire.
You can't do it, boy.
I think it kind of led into me being like on my rock star shit.
Am I the only one that's in reality here? Like, do y'all see what's happening? Like, for real. Like, and then I think they're exaggerating too, that they can't live their lives without being viewed as R. Kelly's kids. No one even thinks about you, booze. Nobody. I don't even think about Drea Kelly until she keeps making these stupid ass documentaries and agreeing to them. I don't even think, they ain't nobody think about his kids at all. I'm in one of his groups on Facebook. And don't nobody mention his kids at all. Talk about how they talented. They don't say nothing about them. No one's thinking about y'all. So all of that saying that we gotta be viewed bad because we're his kids to a certain point, yeah, that's possible, especially with the record labels. But to your average people, don't nobody give a damn about y'all. Oh, I'm talking about he ain't out the hell with that torch. He wanted, nigga, you would never be able to live on his legacy. Stop it. Stop. That's something that you would have known at an early age. He would have had the voice at an early age. One of them would have been able to sing young. That boy, he was singing in church, R. Kelly. Okay? I'm not trying to boast him up because he is a pervert. I'm boasting up his voice, his ability with his anytime you can write a song without even being able to read. That's amazing. Shit. It's just sad he let it all go to waste. Because as soon as he started having crazy thoughts, he should have got out. That's what a lot of people like him and say. As soon as you feel you have something going on up here that's not right, go get help. Go get help. Take yourself away from your family for a while. Figure it out. Because you're hurting everyone else. But then she made the dumb decision to marry this motherfucker after he married a child. That was already a red flag. Wow. And the father was in the military, talking about her father. And apparently he didn't do no good job at raising her and trying to instill in her what kind of men to get with. Because she chose one of the worst ones right off the bat. Then she turned around, she divorced R. Kelly. 5 years later, married somebody and only stayed married to him for 2 months. This girl is dumb. That mother is the problem. Them kids, I pity his kids. That's really sad. They're all fucked up. And it's all R. Kelly and that woman's fault, especially her fault. Because all she had to do, as soon as she kept seeing things wasn't going well, and then them kids were involved, that was enough. That was enough. Figure out at least how to get your kids out of it if you want to stay and fuck off your life. And that's not even the right thing to do, because now your kids don't have either one of y'all. That's why she should have figured out a way to have left them sooner. These kids are extremely damaged. Extremely. I blame R. Kelly. Yes, I do. But I blame her. She could have figured out how to get away from him. She did it. But too long later. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. It's just making me mad because it all goes back to how she could have done something sooner. That's what's making me mad. And I don't hear her at one point in none of these interviews saying that I wish I would have left sooner. I blame me. You know what I mean? If she would have said something like that, I wouldn't even be making this video right now. She never takes accountability for how she stayed with him so long. I've never seen her do that in any of the videos I've ever seen her in. If you guys find one, let me know. Because I've never seen her say, you know what, I blame myself because I should really figure out how to get away from him sooner. And I allowed the kids to see all the pain he put me in. And then it trickled onto that. Then I think we're going to go deeper in this video where the daughter now says he was touching on her. I can't wait to get to that part. I want to hear this because now all of a sudden that just came out.
You know how that go. But yeah, it's definitely pressure being a man, like having the insecurities of like, you know, because I don't want to resemble him in any way. So
you ain't got to worry about that.
In the kitchen,
you ain't got to worry about that, boy. I don't see nothing of him in you.
My mom's like, oh,
okay,
just like your dad. I'm like,
no,
what are you talking about?
She's lying.
Dad, you about to be an uncle.
Your mother's delusional.
Yeah, bro.
That boy don't look nothing like R. Kelly. He's built up like him a little bit. That's about it.
Turn things around. I don't know what's crazier. Like, I'm about to be an uncle or my sister's about to be a mom. Like, that is freaking
It's like
nuts.
the more we talk about it, the more I'll be like, oh shit.
Especially now that my sister's having a boy. Because I know the pressure of just, being the first man, like, after him.
That boy don't look nothing like him.
I don't know, man. I mean, I've never really had anyone there for me, so I can't really replicate anything from my nephew, but I can just do my best.
It's
you know, get my rocks in.
yeah.
I'm gonna be rocking that baby, bro. I'm telling you, you're never going to see your kid.
I know. I already know.
You're gonna think it's my kid.
I have to mentally prepare. Like,
yeah,
I told Mom, I was like, I need you for this because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna be in charge all day. No.
We're looking at baby stuff.
That is wild.
Oh my God.
This bitch is fat. And she's always acting.
Okay.
I think that in some ways.
Okay, another thing too. All this smiling and acting that she does. You mean to tell me you couldn't have smiled and acted and made him think that you were happy in your relationship? Like, oh, baby, I want to go to the store and get us an amazing feast to make for us later. I'm just going to have the concierge escort me and all that. I'm going to take the kids with me so we can shop and have fun. Okay, baby? He would have never saw me again. She act like she's such an actress. Where was your acting skills all this time when you was getting your ass whooped and you was being starved? That I wish y'all would say I'm wrong. Where was the acting skills then? Because she certainly be showing them on all these documentaries. She be acting like a motherfucker, smiling and posing and doing all this shit. And where was this at when he was whooping your ass? That's what I want to know. Oh my God. Jesus Lord.
Really cute.
Her and God reconnected, and God saw her worthy of happiness and a gift. Because for so long, her world seemed like just doom and gloom and pain and hurt and loss. That finally God is like, all right, I'm about to give you something good. So I think it does a lot for her self-esteem to know that, yes, I can be a mom and I'm going to be a mom.
That's sad.
To see her so happy.
That's sad.
It was hard in the beginning, though. It was hard in the beginning, but she has finally fell into that thing where she's like, I'm about to be a mom and now I have to do this for somebody other than me. And now I think that she really sees that her life is bigger than just her. I feel like even though I'm about to give birth to another human being, I feel like this process has forced me to also give birth to myself.
I'm so sorry for this, y'all, because I'm gonna say something to y'all. I'm gonna say it one more fucking time. I don't care if y'all get mad. If you're born a Pisces, you already do. You're already do. Pisces are very confused. They're very complicated. They have very low self-esteem. They're very conflicted. They don't know which side of the street they want to be on. They have a lot of problems. And they're really emotional. So she was already at a deficit when she was brought into this world under that sign.
I feel like I've shed so much skin. I've learned so many things, and it's only the beginning. That's another reason why I'm so grateful for motherhood just in general, because it forces you to look at yourself. And it forces you to grow up in ways that you can't even, like, you don't even comprehend until it happens. Like, there's no way that I could prepare somebody for the amount of change that you go through. It's not just physical, it's emotional, it's mental, it's spiritual.
That girl
And my
really
whole
fucked up.
being
Look at her.
is different on all levels now. So I feel like not only am I giving birth to my baby, but I'm giving birth to myself. Nobody wants to be the child of the father that is out here hurting women and children.
And today R. Kelly was sentenced to prison for his many crimes against underage girls. And R. Kelly,
I don't want any parts of it.
I hope this sentencing serves as its own testimony that it doesn't matter how powerful, rich, or famous your abuser may be, or how small they may make you feel. Justice only heals.
How I feel about my dad's prison sentencing is how I feel about any prison sentencing for the most part. You don't want to go to jail, don't do shit that gets you locked up.
You know, you make your bed, you lay in it. I mean,
they're smarter than that mother.
Disagree with me. Some people may even dislike me for it, but I'm going to tell you how I honestly feel. In no uncertain terms, that I hate Mr. Kelly with every fiber of my being. The reason I despise Mr. Kelly is how he hurt my babies. Excuse me. He would go to any length.
There was no tears.
None. To denigrate, to isolate.
Remember, too, this is the same father that she didn't see in years. She didn't see in years, but she was in pictures with the kids smiling, like everything was normal. And I understand he isolated them. He thought, okay, but why was she smiling? And why was she not using this time to be an actress and make him think like they were happy enough and she left? Because you could easily trick a dude. Easily. All you got to do is let them see, make them believe you're not affected about being abused by them and immediately leave. She should, as soon as he started doing it to where she saw it was to the point like, where like, nah, this dude really means this shit. Like, he's going to keep hitting me. That's it. She should like, you know, baby, I forgive you. And I would have flipped that all around. I'm sorry, I'd have been out. How do you ever do a father that was in the military? You ain't never called him sooner for help. Like, nah, nigga. Like, I'm sorry.
The life that they deserved. He was selfish, uncaring, controlling, and brutal.
He was, but your daughter was selfish.
He made them feel less than they should have ever felt. And he had half the world on his side. They had to suffer in silence.
He's a monster.
No, they didn't.
There is no other words for him. He's a monster. What he has done to those kids, what he has done to our daughter, what he has done to other young ladies, He's a monster. He should not
You
be.
mean your
I think
stepdaughter?
putting him in jail is
Your stepdaughter.
too easy.
I can say from my personal experience with him that jail is a well-suited place for him to be.
You take Omni to visit him?
I would not take my son to visit him.
Now that's what a real woman does. Yeah.
If my son asks
At least she's trying to not make the same mistakes her mother did. She sees all the damage that was put onto her and her siblings, and she's like, no, I'm not taking my son to see him. That was the right answer. The kids aren't the problem. It's her. It's her.
I'm going to be as truthful as possible. But I would not be taking my son to a prison to meet his mom.
Good girl. Good woman. That's good. I respect that. Shit. Look how damaged this girl is. This making me really mad. I'm mad as hell. R. Kelly need his ass whooped, but that mother does too. Fuck out of here.
She was my everything.
I would feel horrible if I was her mother and this girl was this
For a long
damaged.
time, I didn't even want to believe that it happened. I didn't know that even if he was a bad person, that he would do something to me. I was too scared to tell anybody. I was too scared to tell my mom. I really feel like that one millisecond completely just changed my whole life and changed who I was as a person and changed the sparkle I had and the light that I used to carry. I don't know what to do.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Okay. Nah, now I'm not. Now I am really pissed. Did you just see what that message said? Now I don't know what to believe. It says that she reported abuse to her mother at 10 years old. How old is she now? I'm looking this up. Here, let's look it up together. Here, fuck this, because this got me mad as hell. Because they just was acting like the kids was never part of the abuse. So I understand delayed response to being a victim. I understand all of that, but it's just starting to seem real stupid now. So hold on one second, y'all. I want to see this. Oh, this is crazy as hell. This is real crazy. No, it did not say she told that mother at fucking 10 years old. Now, I thought I heard from somewhere else that wow, okay, so she's okay, no, she's older now. Wow, this is really bad. So in 2019, she's older than my daughter. Yeah, and that makes sense because she was born first. Oh, this is getting worse. Okay, so it says in 2019, the girl was 21. So, oh, wow. So 2019, let's go forward here. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 6 years. So you had 6 on the 21. She's 27 years old. So that means, oh, wow, this is horrific. That means that that woman stayed with him after the girl talked. She had to think about it because she was 21 in 2019. She was 11 in 2009. And that's when she finally divorced him. So he probably was assaulting her. Yeah. So I'm guessing that she must have waited. But she told him, she actually told at 10 years old, that would have been 2008. Yeah, that mother still was probably still with him after that. I'm done. Like, I'm done with this bitch. This shit is crazy as fuck. And they were trying to say at first that his kids were affected, like, sexually. So I don't know which story to believe now. I really don't. I just closed out by accident because they have upset me so bad. Like, no, here it is. Good. Like, that's crazy. I want y'all to see what it said.
So after I told my mom, I didn't go over there anymore. My brother and sister.
The years ain't even matching up. She said, I didn't go over there anymore. Okay, so maybe they was separated a couple years before they got a divorce. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. And but that's still not fully adding up right. Because he would have had to, if it happened, if she told in 2008, when she would have been taken, she must have been born in 98, something like that. Okay, so when she told the mother, where was the mother? Where were they? Was they still in that household with her? This is all just, nah, man, I don't like this shit. This bitch is making me mad.
I was too scared to tell anybody. I was too scared to tell my mom. I really feel like that one millisecond.
And I hate when people say they were too scared to tell their mother. I understand that everybody, again, handles trauma and stress different and everything, right? But don't it occur to you that you would have to tell somebody? You would have to tell somebody, because if not, you're going to allow that person to continue to abuse you, your other siblings, your mother, and other people. Yeah, so somebody got to be the stronger party here and open up their mouths quick. Because I know if somebody would have fondled me, my mother would have been the first motherfucker to know that. Yeah, she'd have been the first person.
Completely just changed my whole life and changed who I was as a person and changed the sparkle I had.
I wish they were lying about this. I don't think this girl's lying. I don't think she's lying. I'm just wondering when this mother reacted to all of this. I have to tell you, it falls back on her. It does. Her son's a reporter abuse her mom. She was 10 years old. That's bad.
So after I told my mom I didn't go over there anymore, my brother and sister, we didn't go over there anymore.
So hopefully they was separated then. If she was already separated from him, okay, but that's the court's fault. Because again, like I said, once the mother is abused, and he had a history of abusing girls and marrying young girls, why was these kids allowed around him? Without supervised visitation. That's the word I was looking for, supervised, because this got me so mad. That part might have not been her fault then, because the fucking courts kept letting him be around them. So if that's the case, then okay. But
it all changed.
This is the only time when it's like she's really crying.
Even though it's like now, I struggle with it a lot.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All I know is what happened to me.
This man was sad.
Happy birthday.
And all I know is what happened to my mom. All I know is what happened to my brother and sister. And because of that, I feel like as a family, we all know why he's in jail.
This is real cheesy. See, I don't think that is. This is garbage.
I think spiritually, there's just certain things you don't do. And because those things were done, he has to pay for it. Unfortunately, I 100% feel like he deserves to be in jail. And so I will not be taking my son to a prison to meet his grandmother. I had on me September 16th, and his due date was the 11th, actually, but he decided that he did not want to come. So I ended up having to get induced. It was crazy. I thought I was gonna die. But I guess like in a sense I kind of did.
We'll get that face.
And I just became like
He's
a different
adorable.
person in a matter of like 5 seconds. It was wild. It was wild. But it was like the best experience I've ever had. Like people ask me all the time, oh, how was it? How do you feel? And I always say like it's the worst thing I've ever done in my life, but I would do it all over again. I've always wanted to be a mom. Like I just kind of knew that from a very young age. And so now that it's here, it's like it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It's the biggest sacrifice I've ever had to make daily. But I think it's also the most like rewarding.
And here's what I don't like about Black mothers and Black women. It ain't only Black women, but I know a lot of Black women that keeps their kids being molested on the hush. It actually just happened with somebody my mom knows. She was talking to them, and then she found out that they actually didn't do anything to protect their youngest son from being molested by someone else. Okay, so she reported this when she was 10, and she said, so all that happened was she wasn't allowed back over there. So why wasn't this told to the child support? This is why I wonder if this is really real. And his mother didn't just put her up to this. Because, okay, first they never mentioned it. And now they're saying she told the mother at 10, but they're not even giving details to it. That seems a little bit sketchy because they gave details to everything else, okay? And the punishment was she just wasn't allowed to go back over there. How come he didn't have charges brought against him for that shit? Because he should have. So that's what I'm saying, man. Some of this ain't right. Some of this just don't sound right when it comes to this woman and her kids. Because I believe that woman is trying to capitalize off of being his victim. That's what she's doing. And she's trying to get her kids to do the same thing. And it's real embarrassing because it's almost like she's trying to use their pain to get into people can like remember them or something, or like put them in the spotlight and like, oh, okay, well, they are stars too. We should make them stars. Like nobody gives a fuck about y'all. Nobody even is thinking about y'all. Shit, hell, a lot of people ain't even think about R. Kelly's ass.
Just seeing him smile at me, just our connection. And
that seems
like, wow, I created a human being. Motherhood is like
daddy probably white.
Lord,
the daddy white. Or very pale, or half and half.
Before about 3 years ago. And I got about halfway through the pregnancy and I ended up having a miscarriage.
Buku's miscarriage was devastating to say the least because she was so happy. Like she wanted to be a mom more than anything. Since a young girl, though, she was just one of those little girls who looked forward to being a mom.
While her mother was getting beat up.
The miscarriage, I feel like somehow in her mind, her pregnancy was her reboot, her restart. Like I can start life again. I can be a mom. I can do all these things differently that weren't done for me as a child. And losing that baby took something out of her.
It was devastating because I've always wanted to be a mom. Like I was that little girl that when I was playing with my Barbie dolls, like they were my children. I've always had like a maternal instinct. Even when it comes to my brother and sister, like they call me their second mom. So having a miscarriage was devastating for me, especially because my pregnancy, like this one, was private. And when I ended up going to the hospital, literally the day after, one of the nurses leaked it.
And I remember being at home with her and her phone's going off, ding, 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 ding. My phone's going off, ding, 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 ding. And what comes across the feed? Of course, no respect. They don't give her a name. It's R. Kelly's daughter has miscarriage. Like, who?
I didn't even know about her. I didn't even hear about this. I
hadn't even got a chance to tell my family that I had a miscarriage. And so that was just rough because I felt like I was forced to deal with it when I wasn't even ready to accept it myself. When I had my miscarriage, So it was really hard. It was a really hard experience, and it affected me for a very, very long time.
Joanne was crying, and she said she was bleeding. And I mean, even I knew that something wasn't right. Something just didn't feel right. And we went to the hospital. We were trying to get in. Everyone was trying to get in. And we couldn't, so we had to just wait in the car. And she had to go in by herself. And we got a call from the hospital's phone. And it was just my sister sobbing and saying that they couldn't find the baby's heartbeat. And immediately everyone broke down. And it was really chaotic.
When I had my miscarriage, I had to carry my baby inside of me for 2 weeks, knowing that he wasn't there because of the way that it happened. So for 2 weeks, I was walking around with a dead fetus, waiting to pass. And through those 2 weeks, I still had to get up and go to work and film and deal with people asking me a bunch of questions, having to have that conversation with my grandparents. So it was really hard.
So like the miscarriage, that was just a really painful time for me. I can't talk about it.
Through that process, I got to a really, really dark space. And I remember for probably for a good 2 months, there was not a day that I was sober. I was really fucked up. Like, that really messed me up.
Because she spent a lot of time in solitude, which was very scary. But at the same time, I did trust that she would be okay. And I was just willing to do whatever it took to make sure that she was safe and had a sound mind. But other than that, she spent a lot of time just, I don't know, kind of checked out.
I just feel like with everything that she's been through, she just didn't deserve that.
So my miscarriage was hard. And I think that's one of the main reasons why this pregnancy means so much to me, because it's not me having another baby, it's my baby coming back to me.
It was almost like a death every day from the day she had the miscarriage. It's even harder when you go through something like that and someone else decides to tell the world about it. They took a part of her grieving process from her. And I think that was really hard for her because it was her first taste of what celebrity is. At a point, it had always been geared towards me or her dad. Now it's her and her personal business out there, and she can't control it. And I don't think she was prepared for it.
I found out that she had a miscarriage actually through Instagram. I didn't even know. I found it through Instagram. I told Joanne that I wanted to be there for her and, to keep her head up. When I first met Boo, I was 7. And from then on, we were inseparable. I looked up to her in so many ways, even her style. Just,
Who the hell are you?
She's a trendsetter, for sure.
I'm confused. Are you a friend or something? Or
even her aura. I mean, very calming. As Boo grew older, she started to become more closed off. Buku and her dad, it wasn't discussed much. I know that she would go and see him on the weekends sometimes, maybe once a month, once every 2 months. But that stopped once she started to become a teenager, and she never talked about him. She, didn't want anybody to know what she was going through. Joe wanted everybody to think that she was okay. And I could tell that that Buku was going through something.
Where all this pain come from?
From your mother. I'm dealing with that bullshit too long.
When I was younger, my dad, he meant the world to me. That was like my everything. And I was about 8 or 9. And he was having a party. And I didn't want to be around him, so instead of sleeping in my room, I decided to sleep in his office space that was like near the party. And I remember falling asleep. And it had to be probably like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And
You come down like that. Anyway.
I just remember waking up. I just remember waking up. I just remember waking up to him touching me. And I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of lay there and I pretended to be asleep. And I just remember from that moment on, like I was a different person. I wasn't the same, but I was too scared to tell anybody. So it was hard to even accept that it happened. So for a long time, I just tried to put it somewhere else. But it got to a point where it was too much. It was too much to not talk about. It was too much to not deal with. So I had to tell my mom. And when I told her, it completely broke her heart. But So after that day, after I told my mom I didn't go over there anymore, my brother and sister, we didn't go over there anymore. Even up until like now, I struggle with it a lot. I struggle with not ever wanting to talk to him again, but then wanting to, because my dad. But I really feel like that 1 millisecond completely just changed my whole life and changed who I was as a person and changed the sparkle I had in the light that I used to carry. I don't know.
Did he get in trouble for it? Did he? What happened?
After I told my mom, I had to talk to police and file a report against him and all these other things. And I had to talk to officers and counselors and all these people about what happened, but because I waited so long to say anything, they really couldn't do anything about it. My mom had to go to court for me. They basically couldn't prosecute him because I waited too long. So at that point in my life, I felt like I said something for nothing. I felt like it was a waste of time. And I felt like I was putting my mom through so much for nothing.
No, you should never feel that because she did that to you. She did.
I don't know the details, and to be honest with you, it was something that was so uncomfortable for me that it's difficult to discuss. But it's my understanding that there may have been some inappropriate contact between her and her dad. That made me see red. That is why I hate and despise the man. No child should ever have to fear that they will be abused by a parent. It's just that simple.
Here's my thing, and I'm stopping this, you guys. I made this video long enough. I don't like her dad either. I don't like her dad either because I feel that either if your daughter's that weak minded and she's that gullible to marry a man that just got an annulment from a 15-year-old girl. And don't say you ain't know about it because the whole world knew R. Kelly married Aaliyah. Okay, that's one. Two, I just have no empathy for On Drea Kelly. I have empathy for his children. I do, for R. Kelly's children. And if that girl really went through that, I believe she did. R. Kelly's disgusting. He probably did that. He had a sickness. He had a sickness in his mind that night whenever he tried that on her. That wasn't even his daughter. He's not even, I believe when he turns into that psychiatric sicko pervert, because that's how a lot of sickos are, they turn into a different person. The other person, that the loving father, she knew all that dude was not there anymore. And this is why here, it needs to change. That if the mother's being physically abused or mentally, anything like that, it revolves around domestic violence, the kids can no longer be around the parent that's being the violator. That's the way it should be, unless there's supervision. You have that dude, first and foremost, she said she didn't tell the 2009. That don't even add up with my time frame. I said 2008 is when she would have been. Did I say that's when she would have been 10? Okay, and they said she confessed at 10. So what does that got to do with 2019? I think they said something on 2019. When did they really report it? That's one. But why did she fight harder through the court too to bring up how he had all those allegations on him in 2008 that he beat? He had all those allegations that he beat with 4 crimes like that. You know what I mean? Then he married a whole 15-year-old girl. So why was he allowed to be around those kids? That's what I want to know. I don't give a damn. That's his blood. That's his children. If he abused women, he abused children in the past, many of children, and married one, he would abuse his own children. It's a possibility. So protect the child so that possibility can't happen. Supervision. I'm not saying they can't see the kids at all. At least let them be supervised. There's somebody there, a mediator, something. Yep, you see your child. Yeah, oh yeah, bye. Yeah, because he had problems. He had a history of violence and sexual abuse and all of that, which is all tied into it. So they shouldn't even have made this for real. All it did was put the kids in more pain. That's that mother. I'm telling you. I believe she's trying to capitalize off of her abuse. She probably didn't get nothing. She probably didn't have no money from him because he didn't even already have no money left over. He was broke toward the end. And so now she's trying to come up with money to doing these documentaries. And it looks really bad to me. Unless I'm the only one feeling that way. Maybe I'm just a heartless bitch or something. I don't know. All I know is I don't like that mother. She is the problem. You watch. She's a phony. A phony and a loser. Now, grandfather's even more of a loser. He is. You mean to tell me you wasn't even noticing that your daughter wasn't contacting you or none of that? No. You wasn't even for 6 years. And you didn't try to stop your daughter from marrying a man that just got a number from a 15-year-old girl. How much sense does that make, though? Think about that. I'm done, y'all. I'm so sorry for ranting and making this on. This shit probably like 2 hours long or some shit because I just kept going. This shit had me hot. I put it on. That's why I kept prolonging it. I kept saying I'm going to watch it, but I was like, no, I'm not. Because I believe it's that wife is back at her shit again. And I was right. I detest her. Little did he know, he fucked his own self and embarrassed himself with all his sicknesses and everything he did to people. But he made his situation even worse by marrying her. Because she is embarrassing. She's embarrassing in so many ways. She really is. But I know she's trying to make money and trying to get the spotlight on that. She really is. It's so obvious. But I'm done talking to you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. I don't even care if you dust me out. Just tell me what you think. I think this shit is disgusting. That's what I think. I don't support R. Kelly's mentality. I don't support anything he did to anybody. I believe they were victims. I do. However, there's a difference between being a victim and being a runner and being a smart ass person to stop the shit before it gets too out of hand. I just see so many women and kids die due to people that could have left or had left on many occasions and went back. Women got to get stronger. You just simply do. Coming from a woman that is strong and didn't let all that happen to me. I'm not no. See, my ex-husband wanted me to be like that. He wanted me to be like his mother and just turn my cheek to him, whooping my ass and fucking me over and cheating on me and shit. No, you got the wrong bitch. This is why I be asking people when I'm in relationships with them sometimes, if you're not happy or if there's something we need to discuss, please let's discuss it. If there's a problem or you're no longer happy with me or there's something I can do better, say something. Yeah, because don't fucking betray me. Don't, because I'm never going to like you again. Not at all. I might be able to tolerate you later on in life. I might be able to talk to you a little bit or something. I'm never going to forget what you did to me, though. I'm that type of person. I'm just not. I'm not ever, no. I'll never forget one thing my ex-husband has done to me. And that's real shit. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Definitely let me know what you think about this documentary. I think it was a piece of garbage. It was worse than the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. And to make them kids believe in their mind that they have the ability to be stars. That is sick. And Sony, if they really was pretending like that, that is so sad. Them kids are never going to be happy at all. Just like Bobby Christina was never going to be Whitney or Bobby. And I take that back where I said Bobby Brown wasn't really talented. He was more talented than Whitney, these kids are about to be. Like, seriously. I guess I say that because Whitney was way more than Bobby Brown. She just simply was. But it's the same situation. Even Whitney didn't put up with no shit like what this bitch did. Whitney would have made a big deal out of that. That's because Whitney was a Leah. That motherfucker might have hit her a couple times. So she hit him back and shit. They was fighting, but that bitch ain't stay and let her kids get raped and all this weird shit. I'm out. What's up? Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Make sure you leave a comment. I'm out. I have nothing else. I stayed up all night, so I need to go to sleep.